Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo people. Listen, I was wrong about the Arsenal, to be honest, in this game. Tom was wrong. Everyone was wrong.
I wasn't.
Nobbins wasn't because he said Arsenal will win. So a lot of people that ruled Arsenal out are wrong. They are back in the title race, 2 points behind Liverpool, who play at Anfield. Arsenal go to the Etihad, but to be honest, it's as simple as Arteta proved us wrong. Another big game, and now he won at home against City and Liverpool, which is something that I don't think Arsenal have done for a while, to win against both teams that go for the title at home. So, listen, they are back in the title race. We like it or not. Odegaard responds to Jamie Carragher. They need to celebrate. Man City played today against Brentford away. People didn't like that I said that Brentford have a chance of winning the game. But Man City go with full force against Brentford. I think Haaland is back, if I'm not mistaken. So everybody is back for Manchester City. And Liverpool, though, this is what we're talking about, to be honest. Jurgen Klopp got the game wrong. They want to put it on this player. They want to put it on that player. But at the end, I think actually Jurgen Klopp got it completely wrong. They want to put it on, Gravenberch played bad, Curtis Jones, Cody Gakpo. But at the end, I thought the balance of the game was completely off. He chose the wrong players. He put the wrong players in the wrong places. Mikel Arteta exploited every single flaw in this Liverpool team. And credit to Mikel Arteta when credit is due. I'm not going to sit here and be stubborn. Well, now Arsenal are 3 games on the bounce. They conceded 2 goals in these 3 games. I think they scored 10 goals in 3 games. So there is nobody can sit here and tell me that, listen, Arsenal don't deserve this win. They were definitely the better team on the pitch without a shadow of a doubt. And Liverpool, to be honest, if it's a 1 game off, I actually don't know. But they have an easier game next week against Burnley. But I'm here with Tom and Nobbins, of course, and this is your Monday show, your Monday counter views. And we'll talk about it. And I just want to get, how's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? Tom doesn't even want to look at us. He's so pissed because
I'm good. I'm fine.
You're very upset. You don't even want to look at us.
I'm messaging someone. I'm fine. I've been listening to all this. I don't
Not
think
even giving the show his full attention. What?
He's not even like he doesn't care about that chat, huh? Oh my god!
I'm fine. Anyone can say what he wants. Look, Arsenal were the better side than us. Arsenal battered us. I don't think it's bad to say. Well done, you. We didn't turn up. I thought yesterday was the culmination from a Liverpool's point of view of all our injuries and absences catching up to us at the wrong time. Because, my God, we just looked so bad. You could tell Trent wasn't fit. You could tell that most of the substitutions we brought on weren't fit. So we were going to be chasing from the start, but fair play to Arsenal. Came in, absolutely battered us. And well done to them because they went from 3rd to 3rd by the end of the day. So incredible work to them. Look, I'll give them praise. They played very well. I think Klopp made a number of mistakes. I think the players who were out on that pitch for him, the less said about certain people, the better. It's a bad one, but it's not one where I'm sitting there going, oh, no, it's the end of the world. It's this, it's that. Season's over, title's over, this, that, and the other. It is what it is. You bounce back from it. I mean, again.
So hold on. I want to get this straight. You think Arsenal were
much better?
You were bad yesterday more than Arsenal were good.
No, both things can be true. We were bad and Arsenal were good. Both things can be true. It's not like just because we were bad, Arsenal were very good, but we were also very bad. Like both things.
It made you look very bad for the most part.
No, Nobbins, we were very bad. When I'm watching Ryan Gravenberch do what he fucking does on that right central midfield spot, yes, we were very bad. When I'm watching Gakpo get chucked out on the right wing, even though we have played Jota out there, it's worked. We've played Diaz out there, it's worked. We now chuck Gakpo out there, doesn't work. Well, obviously, it's not going to work. Go play your players who've been there before. Defensively, Trent just looks so lost, so out of it, so out of it. Obviously, we would have. I have a feeling that we would have started Connor Bradley, but obviously his father passed away on the Saturday, so he was obviously not going to play. Trent came in, just looked so off the boil. You can tell that we're trying to bring it in. Both things can be true, but you say it's on the manager. Yes, the manager has to take some blame. He should have started Nunes. Probably should have tried to keep Trent on for a little bit longer. But we also didn't really have many options beyond that. He had to try and trust Gravenberch, who once again let him down. He had to try and trust Gakpo, even though I don't feel he should have done that one. I feel that one is, another way you could do it. I don't know why he's chucked on the subs he's made. Like, this was never going to be a game for Harvey Elliott. Anyone with a brain cell knew that. But he chucked him on. Tactically, he just put Trent in the complete wrong role. Trent is the best inverted fullback in the world. And we tried to make him do touchline winger stuff. And obviously, it's not going to work because he doesn't get on the ball. He doesn't get on the ball. He doesn't do anything. And everyone, what options did Arsenal? Yeah, Arsenal are missing who? Thomas Partey, Yuri Timber, Jesus, and there's someone else. Tommy Yasu.
Vieira.
So 4, because Vieira's fucking useless. We were missing Salah. The pretty much one of the best players in the Premier League this season. Top scorer, top assister. Soboslai. Tsimikas, who's been probably the best left back we've had this year. Endo. And then in terms of unfit plays, you had Trent, you had Robbo, you had Thiago. Like, we had a lot of stuff there. We were bad tactically. Jurgen Klopp made a number of mistakes tactically. Putting Gakpo and Gravenberch on the same side is just going to... You're never going to press. You're never going to press. And considering our system is built on pressing, you're never going to press when you got a right-hand side.
I think you tried to press.
No, we did, because you saw it when it went to the other side.
And you were outplayed.
Let me finish. When you had Diaz, Jones, Jota side, the press was better. Not perfect, but better. It would go over to the left. William Saliba would have as much... Not Saliba. Gabriel, would have as much time on the ball as he wanted, because Gakpo and Gravenberch wouldn't press. That first goal, Gravenberch is playing like the fucking striker. We've got no one marking Zinchenko. And then they just ping through it. Done. Because we got no right side. And when Trent is not at 100%, he needs even more protection. And we just exposed him more. We just exposed him more and more and more. Because Gravenberch, lazy. Gakpo, lazy. The only player who can leave that pitch yesterday with their head held high is McAllister. I thought, once again, Alexis had a very good game. Only one, though. No to Gomez, no to Van Dijk, no to Konate, no to anyone else who put on that Liverpool shirt yesterday. McAllister's the only one. And to say it's just on Klopp, it's not. The players are at fault as well. Because as much as you might think Klopp made the bad decisions tactically, it doesn't excuse the level of performance that we've got. It doesn't excuse it. From Gravenberch, from Gakpo, from Diaz, from fucking Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, all of them were just useless. And in one of the biggest games of the season, everything just sort of culminates at the wrong moments. I'm glad that we've got Burnley. It's Burnley next at home. A real chance to bounce back. Hopefully, we're getting these injured players back soon. Hopefully, we're getting, these players who'll be on international duty back soon. And we can get some sort of semblance of what we've been doing so well this year. But ultimately, I think yesterday was just the culmination of everything coming together at the wrong point. And Arsenal really turning up. I thought Arsenal played very well. I haven't seen us battered like that in a long time. We could not get out. And partly that's down to us. Partly that is down to a fantastic performance from Arsenal. And I won't take that away from them. Very well played.
Nobbins.
Sorry,
go
Malcolm.
ahead. No. You go ahead. I just wanted to ask you. Tom rant. Fantastic rant, Tom. Bravo. I like it, actually. However, I actually think you're again defending Jurgen Klopp. When in this game, I think the one that should get most criticism is Jurgen Klopp. Not the players. You said it's to blame, but you blamed Gakpo. You blamed the lazy players.
Yeah. Because that's the bare minimum requirement. Jurgen Klopp hasn't told Ryan Gravenberch. The bare minimum is to run hard. The bare minimum is to give 100% effort. I watched Fucking Gravenberch yesterday get ran rings round by Jorginho. Gravenberch is 6'3". He got beaten in 2 aerial duels by fucking Jorginho, who has zero physicality about him, and he got beaten twice in the air. That is the bare minimum. I will never get out of a player if they're just simply not good ability wise. Gravenberch,
Bro, you got it wrong from the first. Tom, let's be okay. I'm not trying to banter. You know me. When I'm banter, I actually think from the first minute he got it wrong. And Arsenal, because okay, but it's not on the players.
But
and I explained this. Well. I explained this to Hussam yesterday. Let me explain it to you before Nobbins comes in. When you put Gravenberch, he's more of an offensive player than a player who runs around in the midfield like Henderson to cover a right back. You play Trent and you play Gravenberch and Gakpo on that side. Gakpo, who is a false nine, who is a forward, and you play Gravenberch, you are asking Arsenal to go and exploit that area and take Konate on a run every time, which is what Zinchenko did, which is what Martinelli did, which is what Trossard did, which is what Havertz did. They were very obviously targeting that area. For a whole 45 minutes, it was very obvious, and he didn't fix it. He puts Gravenberch in that area. Gravenberch is not a defensive player. He's a player that has 70 or 75% offensive attributes versus 25 to 30 defensive attributes. This is the same as if Pep Guardiola asks Foden, for example, to defend on that side, and then Foden isn't covering the area. Anyway, but Gravenberch should have run more. Yes, but it's Jurgen Klopp. It's like me at Inter asking Lautaro Martinez to defend, for example. Gravenberch is a midfielder. And that's the thing that I wanted to criticize Klopp for. Not every player is the same. You asked Trent yesterday to play Conor Bradley role. Look at his heat map. He was that was absolutely the guy was in. I thought, and I said it yesterday. Trent was just there. Did you notice that he was just on the pitch?
He didn't get on the ball. He was isolated.
He didn't get on the ball, Tom. He didn't defend. He didn't go forward. He wasn't an option. He just was there.
We just started pushing everything down the other side, and he was just standing there on the touchline.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, and he wasn't even defending, bro. Like every time Martinelli was behind him going on Konate. Like Zinchenko, by the way, in the goal, someone else should be on Zinchenko. Zinchenko's a left back. It's either Gakpo or Zinchenko goes to the midfield and maybe Gravenberch gets him. But Zinchenko was on the line. Trent went on him because he was free. And in the goal, I explained the goal yesterday. It is nobody's mistake other than Jurgen Klopp and a brilliant move from Mikel Arteta, to be honest. Odegaard being behind the midfield is brilliant. You needed the Endo yesterday. But I think the one that gets the most... I don't know why he didn't play Nunes. Apparently he was injured or something.
He was out for the game, but it's apparently, I haven't seen it myself, but someone said that apparently it was... Jurgen Klopp has said it was a tactical decision and he wanted more control.
If that was a tactical decision, that's another howler from him.
Yeah, it's a terrible...
Even me, before the game, when I was previewing the game, I said that this is Darwin Nunes' game. Arsenal press him, playing a high line. You need an outlet up top. There was nobody. It's not Jota, it's not Diaz, and it's not Gakpo. It was going to be only Darwin Nunes or Mohamed Salah if he's there, like what you did.
The one thing I do want to ask you though, Mum, based on your Gravenberch point now, he's 70% this, so you can't expect the same role. What would you have done then?
In this game, I would have tried to play Curtis Jones next, close to McAllister more. Who did you have on the bench?
Close to him. Curtis Jones was
not in the first half. Not in the first half, because I looked at the shape. Both your guys were high. Both Curtis Jones and Gravenberch were very high on the pitch.
Yeah,
very high on the pitch, by the way.
Yeah, but
even McAllister, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah, but I don't even think McAllister did that. Was like,
it's not his fault. It's Jurgen Klopp was telling 5 players to press and leaving other 5 players.
But we always do that, man. And we had to do that even more. So
Arsenal exploited that.
Yes, and I've at no point have I said Arsenal didn't. I've been very praiseful of Arsenal's performance and everything. But when I look at my team, going into that game and watching that first half, I understand why Jones was where he was when we were defending, because we had to try and press somewhere. We had to try and win it back somewhere. I saw a stat the other day, today actually.
But you didn't, though. That's
no, but Mo, let me finish. The point is, against Chelsea, we won the ball back in the opposition final third 13 times, the most we've done this season. Yesterday, we done it once, so the press was broken. Whether Arsenal being good on the ball played a part in that, but there was clearly a personnel problem there. I look at who was on the bench. You had a 20% fit Thiago and Harvey Elliott. That was it. No Szoboszlai, no Endo. It was that. You could start Nunes and play Gakpo centre mid as the only real other alternative.
Maybe I don't.
So
But Gakpo is not the
we
guy.
can identify the problems, but there was no solution for them because no one else was available to fix them. That's the problem that we had.
Yeah.
It was just everything came together. Ultimately, in an ideal world where Szoboszlai doesn't have a strain of his groin again, but even if you want to count this, if I had full control and everyone in that matchday squad was, relatively fit, I would not have played Gravenberch. I would have tried to push it so Trent goes into the midfield, Gomez goes at right back, and Robertson at left back. Anything to stop Ryan Gravenberch stinking it up on the football pitch, because I cannot remember the last start that man has had in any role outside of the fucking Europa League where he has impressed me. And we spent 38 million quid on him. Wataru Endo cost me 16, and I watched him boss it against Arsenal at Anfield. I watched him boss it against United at Anfield. I'm still yet to see a moment with Gravenberch where I go, now he's here. Now I know what we bought him for. We missed Endo badly yesterday because there was no fight in that midfield by McAllister. So when Declan Rice was just running rings round us, when Jorginho was just jinking through us, and Gravenberch was just doing that shitty half-arsed, throw a weak arm out and let you run past me, Endo was straight in there, physical, making them tackles. That's what we missed yesterday. We missed the pressing of Szoboszlai. We missed the fight of Endo. We missed a hell of a lot yesterday. And we massively, 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 massively missed what Connor Bradley gives us. Big time. Because of the role that we tried to play that right back in, we missed what Bradley gives us. And that now makes me wonder, why did you just stick with Trent as the wide player? Why? You haven't done that since last year. It didn't work last year. Why are you now going back to it when you have clearly seen that when Trent has inverted this year, he's been one of the best players in the league. He's able to get himself in on the ball, dictating the play. The few times he received the ball somewhat narrowly yesterday, he was playing some great passes over the top towards Diaz.
Okay, let's get Nobbins in. Nobbins.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, how are you? I enjoyed this. Guys, it's about 300 people here, so can we get the like button now before you do Nobbins? I need to do these super chats because the people start to see. Akil here is saying, I'm sorry, but you weren't bad. And I'm going to let Nobbins respond to this, not you, Tom. I'm sorry, but you weren't bad tactically. Arteta did his homework. His positional press with no pressing lanes down the middle. The center back had no output. Yeah, 100%, Akil. Arteta did his homework. I thought Liverpool didn't have an outlet. They actually were outplayed in the midfield. And McAllister was isolated. There was nobody, which is, I think, what Tom is saying, Akil. I think so. Guys, 300 people here, so we need the likes at least to 150. Hit that like button, people. Come on, people.
Give me a minute. Studio Hook saying we missed Connor Bradley. He's played for you twice in the Prem. You lot keep going on about fucking Jurgen Timber. He's played once.
Here we go.
He's played once. At least Connor Bradley's played more than once. So you can't. If I'm not allowed to use Connor Bradley as a miss, you're not allowed to use Jurgen Timber. There we go. Simple. Let's just be fair and right about it. We missed Bradley. I don't think Mo or Nobbins is going to disagree with that based on the way you played it. Mr.
Happy is saying, would you say Arteta, that's Mikel Arteta's best performance versus Klopp? Nobbins.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to respond to there with like Tom's monologue, etc., which is very good.
If you're going to respond for a bit, I need to finish the Mr. Happy.
I apologize. No, I don't think that was the best one. I think the FA Cup game was actually better.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Football Gossip says a new right triangle. Trent, Gravenberch, Gakpo, blame Klopp. Tom did at the end.
I've maintained throughout Klopp has to take some blame for it, but I do also maintain that the players can actually perform better. And I do have a little bit of sympathy because there was no one fucking else to play there.
Yeah.
As much as I've got on at Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott would have the same problems. He'd just run a little bit more. So I would be happy about the effort, but we would still have the same problems in terms of a player. In fact, he'd probably get bullied a little bit more by the physicality of a race. The only one that I do believe is fully on Klopp is the Gakpo choice. why are you not starting Nunes? If he's fit enough for the bench, he's fit enough to start and come off. We needed that outlet. What ended up happening was when he brought on Nunes, he took off Trent. So the only player who would consistently feed Nunes and consistently cause problems and get Nunes into the positions which he can cause damage in was taken off. So Nunes didn't do fuck all because no one wanted to give him the ball. No one could give him the ball because no one's got the range of Trent. It was just a culmination of everything. It was a culmination of everything.
Yeah.
And fair play Arsenal because
Ryan,
pretty well.
Ryan is saying we can still win this league. Massive overreaction after one bad game. Corrupt judge. I'm disappointed in you. Our big players had a bad game. It happens. It does happen. I don't think this takes anything away from Liverpool chances to win the league. I said before the game that even if Liverpool lose the game, I think Liverpool are fine. I don't think anything is going to happen to them. I'm just worried, not about the performance. I'm worried about the reaction of the fans and everything. And Jurgen Klopp complaining about the referees again for some reason. I don't know why he's complaining about the referees. I don't know. But yeah, Ryan, but it's not overreaction. Starboy Saka saying lovely win. Let me just finish the next one. Thank you so much, Ryan, for the support. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Ryan said, our fate is still on hands. We play City at home, absolutely 100%. We can do it. Klopp needs to stop playing Cody on the right wing because he's wasted there. He is a false nine, absolutely, 100%, which is what Tom is saying. Ryan, yes, absolutely. I don't think it's doom and gloom, but it's a worrying signs for Liverpool. Nobbins, your time.
Sure. So there's a lot to respond to. I'll try to remember everything that was said. I don't buy the absentee injury point from a Liverpool perspective because Arsenal also had missing players, and looking at it through a City lens, City went to the Emirates without Stones and Rodri and De Bruyne, and in my opinion that game should have been a draw, and it was only settled by a deflected effort to win Arsenal the game, and City, I thought that it was a very balanced game, whereas this was anything but that. So I think it's more than just, obviously you'd rather have your best player in your team, but I think there's more to it than that. Arsenal were fantastic. I think for me, what was so important about this win from an Arsenal perspective was, and again, I know they beat City earlier in the season at the Emirates, but that performance wasn't like a yes, I'm him sort of performance. Whereas this, it was like, not only did we beat you, we just like totally played you off the park and outplayed you. And I think that's, for me, that's the first time that's happened, in this new Arsenal Arteta era. Last season against City that they failed on two occasions. This time, even at Anfield, I thought they played well. Even the FA Cup, I know they lost it. I thought that was actually a better performance than this Premier League win, and they've done it again. From a Liverpool perspective, outside of the home game against Chelsea, I can't really think of many good performances Liverpool have put in this season against the bigger teams. Tom can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that, again, Chelsea battering, yes.
What do you count as a big team? Because you got Newcastle, who've done well.
Big six, times, whatever you want to say.
The big six. I'd say Chelsea at home was the best one.
Yes, that's the only one I can think of, to be honest.
If we're just counting league games, the loss to Tottenham is the second best one.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Isn't great reading.
Yes, exactly. So I think it's. I think I saw someone tweet it's something like 7 points in 7 games against the traditional big six. Which obviously isn't ideal. That can change. Obviously, they have City at Anfield, but they've already played both Arsenal and United at Anfield, and they were both draws. So it's not necessarily a certain thing that Liverpool beat them. Arsenal totally outplayed Liverpool. Klopp got it horribly wrong. Going on Trent, if he wasn't fit, why is he starting? Surely it makes more sense to do a De Bruyne situation against Newcastle, where you're bringing him on for like the last 25 minutes if you're going to do that. It was so obvious early on that, when Trent went out wide, because when I saw Havertz was starting, I was like, right, well, Trent's going to leave so much space in behind. So that just means long ball football, link up with Martinelli, and they're going to be in basically every single time.
It was kind of another one of those ones, though, again, where we didn't really have anyone else. Obviously, Bradley wasn't available.
Why couldn't you have Gomez on the right and Robertson on the left?
Because Robertson's just come back from a 3-month injury. So both of them were still off the boil in terms of...
there's got to be another. I don't know Liverpool squad as well as you, but there's got to be another solution than starting a Trent who clearly isn't fit and isn't able to contribute. There must be another solution somewhere.
The only potential fully fit option, and I do not know how well this would have worked because we've never done it before, would be Gomez at left back, Van Dijk and Quansah at centre back, and then Chuck Canate out at right back.
That may have been interesting, yeah. But yeah, there are definitely solutions. And the similar thing with like Liverpool's pressing, that they were very bad, to be honest. McAllister was left so exposed. Liverpool pressed out in a sort of like their standard 4-1-4-1, but it meant that McAllister was always doubled up on every single time. He did his best. I thought he was the best midfielder of Liverpool's midfield, but again he was outnumbered and on his own. Lots of bad performances, sure, but that wasn't helped by Klopp's tactical direction in the game, and it's almost like he didn't learn from the FA Cup game, where again I know that Liverpool won that game comfortably in the end, 2-0, but in my opinion Arsenal outplayed them in that game as well, and they played basically the same way. So he knew. So in fact, I think I saw an interview like Klopp said, it's hard to predict how Arsenal are going to play because you don't know what they're going to do. But Arsenal played basically the same way that they did in the FA Cup game in respect of like their 4-2-2 or whatever. So I'm not sure I buy that from Klopp, to be honest. Yeah, I thought he made a lot of weird mistakes. Thought Havertz was very good. Canate very bad. Conversely, I also thought Arsenal should have had a penalty. Thankfully, that didn't matter. But yeah, it was just ridiculous how many clear-cut chances Arsenal were able to make. Like the Saka header before the goal. There was also that Kiwior header. As I say, there was the penalty shout. Arsenal's first 3 shots were all big chances. That's insane. So it was just a really weird game, and that game could have gone with the.
What was the penalty shows? I've forgotten what the penalty show was.
When McAllister had both his legs over Havertz's leg.
Oh, that one.
For me, that's a penalty. I know it doesn't matter, but that was just like a small thing. For me, that's a penalty. It was very clumsy, and he like, as I say, he sort of like scissors into his legs. What was that? I can't remember what I was saying. Something wise, no doubt. Was it about the defence? Maybe.
Something wise, no doubt.
What was I saying? Chat, help me out. What was I saying before Tom interrupted my flow?
All the first 3 shots were big chances for Arsenal. Just the first 3 shots were big chances. You said that Arsenal had a lot of big chances in the game. Every time they reached the goal, Saka should have scored. They created enough chances to win the game.
Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry, maybe it'll come back to me later. But yeah, so that was the game. Really weird. They had like 1 shot on target. Oh no, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. Yes, man. Thank you. Yes. So their goal last season, I think Liverpool beat Arsenal based on what happened just before halftime, because that was very similar to the bottle, whatever word you want to use, the bottle job last season. You know, if you think of the Southampton game, Liverpool, West Ham, where they're like 2 goals up and then they threw it away. I think Arsenal of last season, that halftime incident happens with Saliba and Raya, ridiculous. And I think second half, the heads go down, the heads drop, and they lose the game, or they draw it. But Liverpool were better second half. However, Arsenal didn't drop, and they were still the better side in the second half as well. So that's why I think this is... I know Tom was saying it's not necessarily an important result, an important game, but certainly from an Arsenal perspective, that's demonstrated to me...
It's massive for Arsenal.
It demonstrated to me, at least, that maybe there's a stronger mentality with Arsenal this season, maybe, because again, maybe like building on the experiences of last season where they did throw it away, but they didn't do that. As I say, they came out and they took the game to Liverpool again in the second half, and they got their deserved win. So I thought it was a very important game for all 3 clubs involved in the title race. If Arsenal lost, they would have been out of it. But the fact is now, again from a City perspective, it's a big if, City win both their games in hand, which are both against Brentford, very, very tricky task, they will go top of the table. Big if, but that hasn't been the case since I don't even know if City have ever been top of the table apart from like match week 1 and 2. So yeah, it was a massive result, massive.
I'm looking at Arsenal, to be honest, in this game, and I'm thinking this is the way you played. However, and I'm going to ask Tom about this, do you think that changes the way Arsenal approach the season at all? Or this is because, remember, they won against City, and I thought they were the better team on the pitch, not by a big margin, not like yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think against Man United, they conceded some chances, but I thought they deserved the win. Against Spurs, they weren't. But this game was against Liverpool, a direct rival for the league. They played very well. Does that change their chances of winning the title? Does that fire them back in of a real contender, not the people that, oh my God, yes, you will go towards the end of the season? Like, I want to ask you for real, as a Liverpool fan, do you think Arsenal have a good chance of winning the title? Or you still think it's going to be Liverpool and City, as everybody thought before the game?
I don't think Arsenal will win the title, but I think this gives them a massive confidence boost, which could probably lead to them staying in the race.
But they have no chance of winning it. So
No,
why do you think they have no chance? I really want to understand this.
Because Man City are in the driving seat. The moment Man City gets in the driving seat, you don't stop Man City. And now they've got KDB back. Now they've got Haaland back.
And
now they've got all their. They're getting all their players back, rested up for the second half of the season. Are we just going to act like they're going to crumble? It'd be a miracle if they do. I just don't think either us or Arsenal are going to catch City. They've got 2 games in hand. The only way we could catch them, is if we somehow beat them at Anfield, and then that causes a spiral for them where they drop points in 2, 3, 4 games. And then that they will still get very close at the end, but that is the only way. Because I don't see Arsenal beating them at the Etihad, because I don't see City dropping points at the Etihad until the end of the season, because now it's in their hands. They start to go to Tottenham away?
Yeah.
So you got Tottenham away, you got Liverpool away, and you've got
United at home, Arsenal at home.
That's a win.
You have West Ham away, they have Newcastle at
Brentford
home,
away.
they have Chelsea at home.
West Ham away is the only other one which I'm looking at.
One of the toughest games they have. Maybe
we've played West Ham away.
Have they played West Ham away?
By the way, Man United is away. And normally Arsenal don't win that game.
Oh, sorry, talk about Arsenal.
Oh, you're about I was on about City. So like there's not many games for City where you're looking at it going, yeah, they're gonna drop points. This is the one where they're gonna go through it. So I think this gives a big boost to Arsenal, and I think this could help them out in the other competition that they're in, the Champions League, in terms of a momentum boost. But I don't think this suddenly now puts them as favourites for the title, and they're gonna go all the way.
Nobody said they're favourites. I just want
I'm
gonna ask you something. Do you think Aston Villa have any chance of winning this league?
No.
No, that's the thing. Even though they're 3 points behind Arsenal, like, I think this win. Listen, I changed my opinion based on circumstances, because I didn't see Arsenal winning this game. But it's not only about them winning it; it's about the manner they won the game. It's about how convincingly they won the game. Liverpool, though, on the other hand, I believe Liverpool, because they still. I look at your run, and I still think you have every chance of winning this league, because the fact that Man City are coming to your ground. If you weren't playing Manchester City at your ground, I would have said City are clear favorites. I think you have a very close. Remember, you have Salah to come back. Endo's going to come back now from the Asian Cup.
We've got a good run coming up, which
Exactly.
in the build up to this City game. This is the one thing I will say. We've got to play Burnley at home. I think then we've got Brentford away. Then we've got Luton at home. Then the cup final, and then there's one in between the cup final and when we play City.
There is no game that I look at it and you can lose until you play Manchester City.
My point is, because we got that cup final, if we can win that cup final in the run into the City game, I think that's going to be a massive, massive momentum boost for us going into that game. Nobbins will know, his team have won it how many times. Winning that Carabao Cup, when you win it, it is a big boost for the team. Everyone just sort of gets that added lift, and it often pushes you on to a better end of the season. So if we can get over the line in that cup, build up that league form again, and I think Luton's going to be a very tough game, because they'll come there to ruin the party, and they've got a team that can do that. But if we can get through those games with wins, and then get to the City game, having won our last 4 Premier League games and the cup final along the way, and we got Europa League game in there as well. I mean, I don't remember who City have got in the Champions League round of 16, but they've got to play them before they play us. So it's going to be an interesting run into that game. I look at this. I know people. I'm rightly annoyed at the result. I'm rightly annoyed at the performance, but I'm not sitting there going, that result and performance ends our season. that resultant performance means we go from, there to there. No, we go from there to like there. Because it's technically still in our hands because we got to play City. It just means that the margin for error lessens. It lessens a fair chunk, but it's still technically in our hands. And I don't think, I'd like to hope that it's not, the start of a spiral. I'm hoping that, we get our players back. We actually have a chance to get a little bit of a rest in the squad. And then we just kick on again because we've done that in the past. But look, I'm not stressing out so much about it. People can do. Fair play, Arsenal. Fantastic result. I know there's been a whole carry on about the celebrations. I don't mind them. I just think it puts a lot of pressure on Arsenal in terms of if you don't win the league now, people will take the piss out of those celebrations at the end of the season. But I don't mind it. I think you've got over the line in a massive game where people were writing it off. Fair play. Celebrate how you want. So fair play to them, and it's all eyes now on City's. Are you away tonight or are you at home?
Yes, they're away. How do you see this game? Nobbins.
Which
Tom,
game? Sorry.
Nobbins. Brentford game. Before we go back to
tonight.
that.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's not going to be easy. So we will be the only team to play Brentford with Tony twice this season, because we were supposed to play them when we were at the Club World Cup, but obviously we didn't, so we still got to play them twice. Brentford with Tony is a much different team to Brentford without Tony. They were the only team to do the double over us last season. I know the game at Brentford was a bit of a dead rubber because it was the last game of the season. We had a 2 cup final, so we chilled out a bit, but still they did it. It's not a certainty that we win by any means. We should still win it, obviously. Got to win it. Got to take advantage of Liverpool dropping 3 points. And again, if we win our games in hand, then we will go top, which would be massive. And I think that basically everyone is fully fit. I know that Akanji didn't make the bench against Burnley, but he should be back now on the bench. Haaland got some valuable minutes. De Bruyne got a start. So I expect De Bruyne and Haaland to start. I expect it to basically be a full strength starting 11, to be honest. We've got John Stones back. He started against Burnley. That is massive as well. Lets us,
Wait, John Stones is back. Oh, for fuck's sake! Why?
He started against Burnley, so yeah, he is back.
Can you tell I don't watch City games now? I've numbed myself to Man City.
Yeah,
I don't watch them anymore.
Yeah. So, and he was doing the John Stones role, which we love to see. So it means that we can go back to that system in the most optimal manner. We can we can bring back the purest form of the treble winning system, which won us the treble last season. It was around this stage last season, I think, actually. Was it stuff like in around February time when we started to pop off properly? So hopefully...
When you beat Tottenham.
Nobbins, I wanted to ask you something about this before. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it was when the charges got dropped. It was after the Spurs defeat.
I wanted to ask you something, Nobbins. Which team are you worried about more, Liverpool or Arsenal in this title race?
Oh,
don't give me a lawyer's answer. Give me a fan's answer.
Well, as we know, I'm very stubborn, and I've maintained that I'm going to have Arsenal to finish second and Liverpool third. So therefore, by definition, I've got to say Arsenal, even though that probably doesn't make sense right now. But I'm not going to. I said I was going to change my opinion if Liverpool won and Arsenal lost, but Arsenal won. And as I touched on before, the mentality I thought was really impressive. So until Arsenal give me a reason to not think they're going to finish second, and again, this is just reinforced that thought. I'm going to say Arsenal. I don't really care if that's not what happens, but that is what I'm going to say. Maybe Arsenal can use this as a sort of momentum builder, and sort of go under the, because I feel like they're going a little bit under the radar in terms of, like, you know, a few weeks ago we were writing them, not me, but people were writing them off. So I think that that'll be in their favour to just, if people talk about it as a sort of 2-horse race, and Arsenal just sort of, you know, quietly but calmly do their business, and yeah. So that's my answer.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. People in the chat, there's about 400 people here. Tell me, who should City be worried about? Liverpool or Arsenal? If you were to choose one team only that City should be worried about, a lot of you said Arsenal, a lot of you said Liverpool. I want 300 answers now. Is it Arsenal or Liverpool? In my opinion, I actually think more Liverpool, just because you are going to play them at home. So you're going to Anfield, but you play Arsenal. It's in your hand to knock Arsenal out. Because if you win your both games in hand, it's in your hand. You can be, if I'm not mistaken, 3 points ahead of Arsenal, and you play them at your ground. So you realistically, you can be 6 points ahead in this race. This is how I'm viewing it. It's not about Arsenal, it's about Manchester City. While
yes.
Liverpool, even though you are 1 point ahead of them, you're going to play them at Anfield. So it's in their hand, not in your hand. People think that when I say that, but City, it's in their hands as well. But when you go to play a team at their ground, well, I think they have advantage. If anybody goes to Man City at the Etihad, I think the Man City will be favorites to win that game. And if they don't win it, we will say you failed to win a game that you should win against any team. Same for Liverpool.
Yes.
Right?
Can I change my answer?
Yes, you can.
So your question was, who's the biggest problem for City in terms of the title race, Arsenal or Liverpool? Yeah.
Yes.
That was the question.
Yes.
I'm going to change my answer.
Yes.
Neither. Man City is the answer.
Man City and Man City.
Oh my God!
Man City and Man City's problem
this
is
notion about Man City are their biggest. Liverpool are their best. Okay, so Liverpool fans can say the same.
That's absolutely fine.
Liverpool can say it's their. Ours is we worry only about us. We don't worry about others.
It's
what is this?
Because
this is a new thing that Man City fans like to say. To be honest,
I've been saying it all season. To be fair, and I said it during that bad period as well. If City don't win the league, it's because they've been made their own worst enemy. There were so many games where we should have won in that period and we didn't. So I think that thought from me is basically been proven right by the fact that when we had that terrible period, no one took the title race by the scruff of the neck and went, right, this is my league now. Everyone else sort of like fumbled and fell over themselves in a similar manner, like dropping points for no reason, whilst we had our worst period. So that's why I'd say that.
So how is that you instead of other teams not performing? Okay, so you just said that the other teams don't perform. So it's about the other teams. It's not about you then.
Well, a Premier League season isn't a solo dance, is it? Of course, there are other protagonists involved, but I was more so making the point that I would place more of the emphasis on what City do rather than opposition teams do. That was more my point.
Can Liverpool do the same?
So I don't know what you mean.
Can Liverpool say the same? That it's about them. It's about them. It's not about City. It's not about Arsenal.
If they want to, I personally wouldn't agree, but they can say that.
Why wouldn't you agree?
Because it's going to sound really arrogant. Just because I think that City should be on a different level to Arsenal and Liverpool, I think. And that sounds very arrogant, but I think it's nevertheless true. I think City have underperformed massively this season. If we're comparing it to what we know City can be, for example, and again, that is arrogant, that's fine, but it's also true that this, Pep's worst period at City's worst period in however many years, and yet still only a couple points behind without our best players.
Isn't that because Arsenal and Liverpool aren't performing?
And yeah, that's sort of my point.
But that's the whole point. It's not only
exactly.
Because you are the best team in the world, right? Are you still the best team in the world, or were you last season?
We haven't. That's sort of the point I'm making. We haven't hit those heights.
So you aren't the best team in the world yet. But yet you say it's about what we do.
The league table says we aren't. It should be about what we do, is what I'm saying. The fact is, right now, it hasn't been. That's my whole point.
Yeah, but you okay? So my point is you said that last season. You can say that last season because you had experience. You had this. You had that. This season, 23 games. You haven't hit your highs yet in the season. So Liverpool can say the same. Liverpool can say, yeah, everything is going to gel together. Mohamed Salah is going to come back and we can be the best team in the world.
They can, but there's a lot less evidence for that.
So your evidence is last season.
I think his
And-
evidence is the fact that
and-
City have come back from not being top.
It's not just last season, but if we're talking about a very small period of time, specifically last season, then yeah, absolutely.
So my point is, a lot of people say that the squad this season for Manchester City isn't the same as last season. And it's on Pep to get the best out of them. The Nunes, the Kovacic, even Gavardiol to suit in, to get in. He is still playing. John Stones is injured. Kevin De Bruyne is coming back from injury. There is a lot to be said, to be done at City. So this is the only point for me. Like, I believe that Pep Guardiola needs to get the best out of these people that he has now, because you have lost experience. Some of the players aren't performing the same. It's up and down. That's my point this season. It isn't a dig at City. You still have, if I'm going to choose one team around the world, it's going to be Manchester City because of Pep Guardiola. Not because of the players. It's because of Pep Guardiola. And that's the thing. It's Pep Guardiola. But Liverpool are performing well. They lost one game. I'm not going to say Arsenal are performing well this season, but Liverpool are performing unexpectedly well. And if they keep it up, I think, in my opinion, they have every chance to win the league title as much as you.
I think
My
it comes
point
down
is,
to
if
we
Man
get over
City
the line in the
fans...
cup.
Really?
Yeah. I think if we get over the line in that cup final, that momentum boost carries us through. Whereas I think because of the Klopp news, everything is a lot more volatile this season. So the highs are extremely high and the lows are extremely low. I think Arsenal are going to be there and thereabouts, but I think obviously, I don't think they'll get over the line. I don't think we will get over the line per se, but I think we'll be closer to it should we win that cup final, because we'll carry that momentum through and we'll lean back on what we've known. We'll lean back on the experience that we've got, which is the one thing that I don't think Arsenal really have. City, though, they have more experience and more know-how than either of our two sides by a country mile, so they should be fine for it. But I'm just going on about momentum-wise. You win that cup final, you carry that big boost all the way through the rest of the season. Add on top of that, we're still going far in the FA Cup. Add on top of that, we're still progressing in the Europa League. All these sort of things add up, and I'm going. Nobbins is going off what he's seen in the past. I can go off what I've seen in the past. When we won that Carabao Cup in the 21-22 season, that was what gave us the boost to go all the way in all the other competitions, to take it as far as we did. And I think City fans understand that there's a reason why Pep wanted to win that tournament so often in his first couple of years, because it breeds that winning mentality, it breeds a winning culture in the football club. And that could be the difference for us. But if we lose that cup final, I think no.
Tom, do you think if you win against Man City, you win the league at home?
We should do. Whether we do or not, it'll be our own fault. But if you're able to beat City at home, why shouldn't you be able to go on and win the league? It'd just be, what other game we're going to drop points in? We've got to play United away, which is a horrible game. Got to go Goodison Park away. You got to go. Tottenham got to come to Anfield. You got all the Arsenal games out the way. You beat City. That's all the City games out the way. It's just, you should be able to get over the line, but probably not. Because I think there's too many other games where we'll drop points in compared to City. And I think we'll just get the amount of competitions that we're in, everything will add up on our legs, because we don't have the same quality and depth that City do.
But okay, I'm not going to go into that discussion again, because I think the likes of Conor Bradley, Indo's coming back, Sabozla is going to be there. Salah, Nunes,
I never said
Kwanzaa, who you never counted.
I never said we didn't have good depth. I just said we don't have as good a depth as City.
Maybe. I look at the City squad. I didn't see, like, if everybody comes back, I see yes, but I still don't. There's a lot of players at City that, again, they have Pep Guardiola. You have Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is fantastic, but he isn't Pep. That's the thing, to be honest. With you.
Their Man City's midfield is better than ours. Won't argue that. And their defensive depth overall is probably slightly better in terms of Diaz, Ake, Akanji, Gvardiol, Walker, Rico Lewis, John Stones. You know that's probably better than what we've got at the minute of
The
Van
difference is
Dijk.
you have Van
You know,
Dijk,
like,
you have Van Dijk, and you have
Yeah.
Trent, which is these two should actually
game changers, but it's
Yes.
beyond that, and the backups are that way. Sort of like we are looking at the backups as two kids who hadn't played for Liverpool before this season. Joe Gomez, who has been chucked as a backup in everywhere, and I don't even know if Simicast is back yet, so I don't know if I can include him or not. Field-wise, there's just no argument. And then I can give us the attack. I think when everyone's on it, our attack can compete with City's. But beyond that, it's very hard. And that's just why I think City... We have more options. City have quality options. That's the difference. City can replace world-class with world-class.
Nobbins, I want to ask Nobbins a question. If you win the 4P this year, what does that put you? Where does that put you in the list of the clubs?
In respect of, like, you know, greatest Premier League teams, for example.
Greatest Premier League teams, biggest club, not fan base, achievements and stuff like that. Where does that put you?
So it's obviously a massive achievement. It's never been done before in England. Never mind Premier League, just never been done in the top flight of England. I don't think it really changes anything in respect of, you know, the quality of the team, because I'm still of the view that Pep City is the greatest Premier League team that we've seen. So that's not going to change my view, because I already think they are the greatest. I guess it would cement it further. Obviously, it's a nice record to have, but I don't know if it actually changes much in terms of anything else, like club size, for example. I think that would be our 10th league title. So, but you know, it does that.
Okay, hold on. So Arsenal have 13 league titles. You will have 10.
Doesn't put us ahead of Arsenal.
You have a Champions League, and you have a treble. You have a 4-peat.
No,
how much does a treble weigh?
We'll still be for me, in my opinion, we'll still be the 4th biggest club in England, behind Liverpool, United, and Arsenal. I think we're the 4th biggest now. I think would still be the 4th biggest. Obviously, we'd get closer to Arsenal, but it's still a long way to go to overtake Arsenal in respect to club size.
To overtake Arsenal, then? If you win a 4-peat and you win a Champions League this year, I think that makes a different conversation.
It's hard because Arsenal have been basically a successful club ever since like the 1920s. So it's hard to just say, right, we've been better for the past 20 years, therefore we're not 20, you know, like 15, whatever. Time is a factor for club size. Is a very subjective argument. I've got my own metrics of, you know, what defines club size.
What is your own metric? I want to know.
So I used to have a series on my TikTok back in the day where I would do it. So it would be, I would look at trophies, both European and domestic. I would look at attendances. I would look at the finances of the clubs. I would look at average league position ranking, you know, like historic league position ranking. I would look at how many times the club's been relegated / promoted. I'd look at all those things. So for me, we're still a long way off Arsenal for me. But, you know, if we keep winning, that would be lovely. But I think that it won't change anything for me, but I think it will change a lot for other people who don't want to say Pep City's the best in Premier League history. I think that will be sort of like the icing on the cake and be like, well, no one's ever done a 4-peat before. So that's what I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, Tom's trying to say something, but he's muted.
I know. You could success. I think success and size of the club are different things. So, I think if City do another treble, if City do back-to-back trebles this year, put themselves onto 10 league titles, I think it would be 8 FA Cups, 8 League Cups, 2 Champions Leagues. That's a real good haul, both domestically and, you know, continentally. There'll be a bigger argument to say that, you know, City are a more successful club, but in terms of the size of the club and the reach and everything, that's where it's subjective, and that's where I think it's hard to go against the history of Arsenal and the legacy that Arsenal has. But the one thing that I will say is the next generation of footballers are going to grow up with City being the side. And that carries an awful lot of weight as time goes on. When we get to the next generation of footballers who go, yeah, I remember watching Pep City, I remember watching KDB, I remember growing up watching Haaland, watching, Ruben Diaz, all this sort of stuff. That carries weight when you're on the side of the club. So whilst right now I don't think City are going to be there, give it 20 years' time when the next generation are all raving about how good that City side was and how they were their inspirations growing up, you'll see the City stock rise a hell of a lot more.
We're coming for Man United. You heard it here first.
I wanted to ask you a question, Tom. Yesterday we had a discussion on the show with Igal, Martin, and Brandon, and the rest of the guys, Rack.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal fans say that they are the most hated club and fan base around in the English football football thing. Do you think that?
No.
So why do they think that? Why do you think they think?
Everyone thinks they're the most hated. Everyone thinks there's an agenda against them. That's how football works.
Because of how everyone, consumes football, you're naturally going to see more people hate your club. The matter of fact is, though, Manchester United are 100% more hated than Arsenal. There's a reason why every single fucker celebrated the Aguero goal, because United weren't getting a title. There is a reason why Liverpool are more hated. I mean, you want to see some of the songs that sang about us and the city that we're from and everything? That is hatred. Arsenal is just, yeah, guess what? We don't like you. To be honest, if I'm being genuinely honest, I think there might be more haters of thingy of there might be more haters of Chelsea than there are of Arsenal. I think a lot more people hate Chelsea in the way they got to where they got to.
Big up Terry in the chat. Is that Terry in the chat? Yeah. Tom, you're getting... People are waiting for Tom to get cooked. You are getting cooked for sure.
How will I ever cook me when my sides went from first to first? Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Imagine if City don't win. Yeah, go ahead.
If we're having a conversation about who's like the most hated club in England, I think it's probably Man United, I think you'd say. Because Man United have been... I think that's demonstrated by the amount of joy that is received by most, non-United fans when they lose or when they draw. You'd think that after sort of over 10 years, not winning a title, that maybe the novelty would wear off, but it hasn't. And it's still a massive thing if United, don't win a game or if they lose a game. And I think a lot of that stems from most people's childhoods have been destroyed by just Fergie's United winning everything every single season. So I'd say that if you're going to ask the question of who's the most hated club, I'd probably say, by other Premier League fans, I think I'd probably say United just because of how successful they were.
There's the reason why how many people do you know who celebrate United being bad because they ruined their childhood? That's
not at the moment.
Well, exactly.
Not at the moment.
No, but
not at the moment. I'm gonna tell you what I noticed. When United win or lose now, they aren't. People don't like but I don't live in England. I read the news right on my computer, on my phone, and United winning or losing now isn't news. It's not. People just hate that.
It might not be news, but it still has the same impact. I still smile when I see United lose games.
You do smile.
Because they ruined so many childhoods, because they were so dominant, because they just won fucking everything.
Yeah, of course.
They ruined so many childhoods, and there's a lot, which is why I think that when you go on to the next generation, I think City will suddenly rise up in terms of being hated, because how many people are going to grow up and go, when I was growing up, it was just Pep, it was just City, it was just Haaland, it was just KDB. That is where a lot of the hatred comes from.
A lot of Man United fans want to feel. A lot of Man United fans. Oh my God! I just want me saying that. Man United, exactly. Man United fans still think they are the biggest news. I'm telling you, no, you aren't. I'm telling you. Here is the word news, which is people don't understand. The word news, right? It is when something that is out of the. If I go to work every day and come home, that's not news. If God forbid I don't go to work one day, people will ask because it's news. Man United have been bad for 10 years. That's what people don't realize. They're like, have the biggest fan base, we have this and that. I'm telling you, You aren't news anymore. It's not like before. You still are news. Of course, news are reporting everything, but you aren't the headlines. People, okay, I'm gonna tell you, Man City charges, big headlines. Everybody wants City's neck. Arsenal lose a game. Everybody wants Arsenal's neck. Liverpool, because it's news, because Arsenal were winning last year. Arsenal bottling the title last year. Everybody kept talking about it for months. People get triggered when they aren't. I was supporting an Inter who won a triple. We were the news the first year, second year, even in Italy. I'm talking in Italy. Third, fourth year, you aren't winning. You aren't news because you aren't winning. What is new to report about? You are bad. You aren't winning. There is nothing to be here to talk about. If Aston Villa, but that's the people that people get triggered. Oh no, my club is this. I was there with the Inter. I was there, and we didn't make. At some point, we didn't make news because Inter not making the Champions League weren't news as much because other people. It's nothing to report about. It's expected. When the word is expected, that means it's not news. When you win. News when you sack a manager, that's fine. Dude, I know this from YouTube. It's not trending. Chelsea losing yesterday at home was more trending than Man United winning 3-0.
It's not a shock to see United lose anymore.
That's it. People don't realize this.
Sure, but
let me just finish this, Nobbins. Are they the most hated club? Yes. Maybe in English football, I don't hate anybody. It changes every year for me. But did I hate Man United the most? Yes, because for me, I hate dominance, and I hated when a team dominated the league because I wanted different teams to win the league.
So you hate City now?
Absolutely, 100%.
He's not. That's no secret.
I actually public about this in the beginning of the season. I said the only team that I don't want to win the league is Manchester City, because I said that for me, I watch every single game in the Premier League. The majority of the big six, every single game, right? Even if I don't watch the game live, which is the majority of the times I do, right? I watch extended highlights for 20 minutes. Sometimes I watch the replay. I want to watch a league. My favorite time in this, I want to watch a league that is competitive. My favorite time in the league is from 2008 to 2018, when no team has won back-to-back leagues. Starting from Man United 2008, 2009, and then 2010 Chelsea, and then it goes on until City retained it in 2018 and 19 before Liverpool wins it 19-20. I enjoyed that time of the league the majority, so I don't want Man City to win, it's not because I hate Manchester City, it's because I want to see competitive league, and it didn't matter if it's Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool. That's why now I was with Liverpool, and now I want Arsenal or Liverpool to win the league, and I said that to Nobbins many times. It's not because I hate City, just because I hate dominance. So Man United, I hated them because they were dominating the league. I was watching. Simple. But now Man United we make news. Freaking Jamie Carragher said something yesterday about Odegaard. I opened my phone this morning. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere you open, it's the headline, Odegaard responds to Jamie Carragher. It's simple.
I don't know. I think that it's not just the footballing thing. It's not just the results as well. Like, how many? If another club got a new CEO, how many shows on YouTube would be talking about it, like we did with United, for example?
Because there was no news.
Pardon?
Because there was no news at that time.
I'm not sure I buy that.
And it's because
even with
they took the CEO from you, Nobbins.
Yeah,
did you know that they hired? Did you talk about hiring Laurent Blanc?
Pardon?
Exactly. Did he hire Laurent Blanc? Right? You know Laurent Blanc? I think no, not Laurent Blanc. Who?
I don't think
United.
Who did they hire? Laurent Blanc or no? I thought they hired something.
I'm not sure.
They hired someone.
I just, it's not just like it's all the off-pitch stuff as well. Like we all know the names like the Glazers, for example. We all know about Ed Woodward and all these other people. I'm not sure I buy that United aren't news anymore. I think it goes beyond the results as well, to be honest.
United will always be news, but what the news has focused on has shifted over the years. That's what I will say. The focus has become less of what's happened on the football pitch and more of what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's the only shift. But certain clubs will always be news. Whenever anything happens, they will always discuss them. So I don't think Arsenal certainly aren't the most hated. Let's keep it one. I think everyone agrees here that Arsenal are not the most hated club in England. United hold that. I think that Liverpool have more of a shot of that. I think that Chelsea arguably have more of a shot of that because of the manner in which they became successful.
I don't think it should be news, by the way. On United, I think that the only real reason why it is because you've got United old boys like Gary Neville and Roy Keane on Sky Sports who is saying, this is Man United, and Graham Souness going, this is an institution, and It's because you've got all these old fuddy-duddies talking about it. If you had a more modern panel, for example, I don't think that they'd, especially who weren't United focused, I don't think there'd be I don't think there'd be as much interest in it. I think that mainstream media is the reason why. Again, I don't think they should be, but I do think they are.
Okay, watch the see. Studio Hooks, I really appreciate you, by the way, supporting the channel. He said, Arsenal finishing second had more critics than Chelsea finishing 12th, which feeds to the narrative that people hate Arsenal.
What, last year? You had more critics because you were top for 93% of the season. Chelsea had a fucking lot of critics as well. Let's keep it 100%. Everyone took the piss out of Chelsea for finishing 12th. Everyone was having a go at Chelsea going, how can you spend near on £1 billion and finish fucking 12th? But people were looking at you and giving you criticism because you were top. If Arsenal had been third, and then second last day, would have been full of praise. But it's because the manner in which you finished second that you drew criticism and that you drew some questions because you were top for so long. And let's not act like Chelsea didn't have people going, how have they spent so much money and I finished 12th? What was the point in hiring Graham Potter, this, that, and the other? So, again, you've got to look at it in that way. I don't know why Arsenal want to be the most hated club.
I actually don't know. I don't
know why it's a topic, to be fair. Like, who cares?
Yeah. I'll keep it up. I hate most clubs that we compete against because that's how it is. I don't like City. I don't like United. I don't like Arsenal. I don't like Chelsea. Tottenham are just Tottenham. They can just stay where they are. I don't like Everton. I don't like a lot of football clubs. But I don't know why people want to be hated. It's not something to be proud of.
No.
German Chicken Wing is saying, Mo, would you like Inter to win 5 leagues in a row? Yes, we did that. Once.
Would you like to win 10 in a row?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but yes.
Would you like to win 20 in a row?
Nah, I reckon only 19. 19 is probably where I draw the line at that point.
Yeah, 19. Thank you, German Chicken Wing. JW saying, United are news because we love car crashes and misery, which is what Nobbins talking about. I don't know why people just take it the wrong way. It's just Man United, if they start winning again, and I think there will be... The thing about it is that when Man United people sit, the fans, and I sit with staffies, of course, and they expect their team to lose, they're like, yeah, we're going to go to the next game. We aren't going to perform well. Now, that's... Like, I think this is when you become not news. Now, if Man United go back to the top again and be close to the top and start performing well, and now they lose at that time, there will be news. Man United, if they go to the top 4 and they bottle it, there will be news. But at the moment, they aren't. Like Chelsea now, yes, they lost 4-2. The news is Poch is sacked or not. It's not Chelsea loss. It's will Poch get sacked? Do you see what I'm talking about here? It's off the pitch stuff. It's like, will Poch get sacked? Like Chelsea losing a game against Wolves would have been a volcano. It would have been an earthquake in the news 10 years ago. How do you lose at home 4 goals against you 10 years ago? It would have been everywhere. It's not. It's still Arsenal winning against Liverpool way more. But that's my point. That's just people... I think people just take this the wrong way. No, people think that when I say that, and Man United aren't a big club, you have the biggest fan base around the world. Facts. You make a lot of money. But I'm just saying that you're not news anymore. There's no kids that talk about Man United anymore. When I say kids, I'll talk 15 years old, 16 years in academies. They don't talk about Manchester United. They don't go to practices wearing Manchester United jerseys. They don't. When I go here before my practice, there is a club that has a lot of youth teams, right? In the pitch. Nobody's wearing Manchester United. They're wearing Man City. They're wearing Salah's jersey, right? What I mean? The goalkeeper's wearing Alisson. They aren't wearing Man United jerseys. After the practices, they aren't. The kids aren't. It's the same for a lot of other clubs. People don't understand this, and they just get triggered. I'm not sure in England. I don't know who's from London, but you ask any person from London, I say, do you see kids nowadays wearing Man United jerseys in London like back in the days when they were winning? They'll tell you no. I already asked that question. It's just they don't. People need to realize this. Anyway, long story short, this is kind of off topic. So that brings us to I want to speak about Chelsea a little bit before we end this show. German Chicken got you there, Mo. So you want Inter to dominate Serie A? Yes, of course. I'm so vocal about this. I'm not saying that City shouldn't dominate the league. If it was my club, I would I want to dominate the league, of course. But from outside, you would ask do you want Inter to win the league 5 times in a row? If you're watching the league, everybody criticizes Bayern Munich for winning the league many times in the Bundesliga. But Bayern Munich fans are happy about it, and they want it to happen every year. I'm not criticizing Man City.
Why would you not want your own club to be dominant?
See, I don't get this. But if you're watching from outside, you want other clubs to win it, and I think that is very easy to understand.
Let's put it like this: in a boxing match, if I had a favorite boxer, I would want him to dominate in every fight he's in. But if I'm watching a boxing fight, I want it to be entertaining. So I don't really care who wins, just as long as it's not the same guy over and over again bashing someone. But if I have a personal, investment, i.e., I support someone, I'm going to want them to dominate. It's when you're neutral.
Thank you so much for the great analogy. It's simple. If we know that the boxer will win the game nobody's gonna go and watch. Nobody's gonna bet on it. Nobody's gonna watch it. But if we don't know who's gonna win, we're gonna be able to. Thank you, Tom. It's exactly what it is. German Chicken Wing. He dunked on you.
I've
German Chicken Wing. That's a dunk on your head. It's exactly. You tried to get me, and oh my God, you dunked on your head. Pochettino should get sacked or not, people. The last topic.
Yes, he is. I don't know what he's doing. But whatever he's doing is bad. Literally,
you don't know what you're doing.
Literally, it's just so weird. Yeah, sure, you can say the squad's not been made well, whatever. But the tactics are just really, really weird, and it's making really weird basic mistakes. It seems. I think I saw a stat that Potter at this stage of the season had done better than what Poch had done, in terms of points. And he didn't have a mental transfer window like Poch has had. So yeah, I don't think anyone goes into Chelsea and does amazingly well, because I don't think the squad's been made. I think the squad's been set up to fail. But at the same time, there are sort of levels of badness, and I think what he's doing it's impressive how bad Chelsea have been. It's every other week they seem to be losing at home. It's what is going on? Yeah, it's weird. I'm amazed he's lasted this long, to be honest, given how immature and trigger happy these owners appear to be. So yeah.
Tom, are the Chelsea? I keep saying this. Are the Chelsea players overrated at all?
Yes, they're massively overrated, but the manager should still get sacked because
I get that the manager should get sacked because of the position with the this is not a question, but are people expecting more from players that are?
People
a lot of these players are overpriced.
Yeah, people
exactly
are that.
You know what I mean? They treat them as superstars, but they aren't.
Yeah, they're based it on how much they cost. So Chelsea bought a lot of potential, and therefore people are expecting a 100 million player now, which I think people have a fair right to. When you spend that much money, you expect more success than what they've got. Their only real success story so far has been Cole Palmer. Caicedo is just left. I don't think he's helped by the system. He doesn't exactly cover himself in glory. Fernandes the same. I can't think of any successful defender they bought apart from maybe Malo Gusto when he was 22 million, which was one of the cheaper ones that they bought. they are. This team probably isn't anywhere near as good as people make out. It just cost a lot of money. The manager does need to go though, because even though I don't think the squad are as good as people make out, they are better than where they are in the league. And Pochettino having them where they are is a disgrace to the project that Chelsea are trying to do. I know who they're going to get in. They're going to go for Mourinho, and it's going to be the wrong step again. And they are going to get 2 years out of him, and they are going to be
so
back
funny.
to step one.
I think that'd be amazing, actually. I think.
Can you imagine?
I think absolutely. I would love to see Mourinho
because they're going to stick. They're going to stick too long by Poch. They're going to give Poch, obviously he's going to have the cup final. Then they're going to give him a couple months longer, and it'll get to that stage at Chelsea where they just start singing Mourinho's name.
I would love if that happened.
They start singing Abramovich yesterday. They'll start singing Mourinho's name, and then Todd B, Egbali, whoever else there is, they'll go, they want Mourinho. Mourinho's a top manager. Let's get Mourinho in, even though it's just not the environment for him. I don't know who they should get in. I don't know who they should get in, but I could really see Jose Mourinho getting dragged back to Chelsea for a third time to steady the ship, sort of thing.
That'd be so fun. Like Mourinho, a manager notorious for loving strong personalities and only wanting to deal with strong individuals like Terry and Drogba, thrown into a club which has an average age of like 21, and they clearly need like an arm around the shoulder strategy, and he's just like shouting at them all. It would get to like 16th place.
You know I want Mourinho.
That would be hilarious. It would be a car crash. It would be brilliant. I'd love it.
It'd be fantastic content.
He hasn't been an elite. He hasn't been an elite manager in 9 years. Is it? That's insane.
What, since he left Madrid?
Since he left Chelsea. That last Chelsea win in 14-15. That was the last time, in my opinion, he wasn't elite at United or Spurs or Roma. I don't care.
I think it would be fantastic.
It would be brilliant. It would be cinema. It would be amazing.
I think actually, I like it now.
They'd go even worse.
I'm buying.
Could you imagine Mourinho with a front line of Madueke, Broyer, and Mudryk? Could you imagine him trying to get anything out of that with the way he manages? Watching Mudryk just take on men and kick it behind for a goal kick. Mourinho would lose his head.
Pure cinema.
Seriously, I want this to happen now. I really want this to happen now.
It will be the most volatile sort of system.
And then Lukaku's back, bro. Lukaku back. Oh my God, this is it. Now, see, by the minute, I'm sold, bro. I'm in. I'm buying stocks.
You just know if Mourinho got control of the transfers, he would just buy a bunch of old players for the experience. So you'd have half the squad is below 23, the other half are older than 33. There is no one from 24 to 34. It's just either children or OAPs.
Bro, this is it.
Let's make it happen, guys.
Vote Mourinho for the comedy, bro. I think that'll be a fantastic.
No, I'd love it.
And do you know what it would be? Chelsea fans would live and die by him. So even if he was doing awfully, because it's Jose, they'd give him more leeway.
Yeah, because he was like he did a good job for them in 2015.
And before that, he had 2 really good spells for them.
Michael, big up Michael. Yeah. Michael, big up Michael for supporting the channel, of course, and super chat. He says the level of quality I see from Caicedo and Enzo with their national teams compared to Chelsea is crazy. Clearly, the atmosphere at Chelsea is bad. I don't think so. I don't think so. I actually don't think so, Michael. The thing about it with Enzo is that, by the way, playing for the national team is completely different speed, different tactics, different way of playing football. Number one, with the national team, he has Messi, which is a get out of jail card. They have players like, I think at Chelsea, every time I'm watching Enzo and Caicedo, I feel like they are in. Enzo is trying, but yesterday the commentator said that the only player on the pitch that looks interested in the jersey is Conor Gallagher. Everyone else is just there.
You've got to look at how that Argentina side was set. That Argentina side was set up with Enzo and a bunch of, I think,
Rodrigo De Paul,
workhorses around. It was Rodrigo De Paul, McAllister done a hell of a lot of running, and who was the other one who played on the right?
Rodrigo De Paul, McAllister, Paredes, Messi, Paredes didn't play the majority, and then it was Enzo, De Paul, and McAllister behind Messi.
They put a lot of workhorses around Messi, and in turn they put a lot of workhorses.
And Enzo isn't a workhorse, though. Enzo isn't a workhorse.
That's my point, though, Mo. So by putting workhorses around Messi, they inadvertently put workhorses around Enzo. So Enzo's deficiencies were still covered up for. Now, because the players aren't doing that, because he's not got the same level of cover, his issues are being exposed. I also think that let's get it clear, he's getting played in the wrong position. He's not a shadow striker. He's not a second striker sort of a player. I don't get why he's being played there. But Chelsea don't have the personnel to get the best out of Enzo. And
they don't
get the personnel to get the best out of Caicedo either.
I actually think that
I don't think Enzo and Caicedo will ever play well together. I think that they, as profiles, they do not mesh at all. And unless they had, I think the only player that in like, you know, Premier League history that could really make them knit together is someone like a Yaya Toure or a Patrick Vieira, someone who is so physically imposing and can do so many jobs. It's like having two men in one position. He could do enough knitting work. He could do enough sort of covering to make them to look like they could play together. But I don't think you can play Caicedo and Enzo next to each other. I don't think they work together. And I think this is partly why Gallagher's got a lot of credit this year, because he's been the only one trying to keep them ticking over. He's been doing all the run. He's been doing all the hard work. But it's not enough because he's one man. That's where it adds up.
Michael here again is saying, I mean, Mourinho did work with Lukaku at Roma. Yes, he did.
Now, listen, Abraham as well.
I think Mourinho. Yeah. I think Mourinho wouldn't be sitting 12th though. He would be sitting. He would be sitting 8th.
Yeah, you see, a solid 9th for Jose in big 2024.
No, you know what? Though? I reckon with the injuries that Newcastle, I reckon he'd be 7th. It wouldn't be like a comfortable 7th, but it'd be 7th, and it'd be one of them ones. Oh, if we can just get ourselves into Europa League next year, Jose can work his magic again.
Let's get Mourinho.
Yeah. But we do all realize.
Oh no, Michael! Michael is saying Mourinho to Newcastle. I can see it. If Newcastle get Mourinho, it's a sit back.
100%.
Can we all just understand though that Mourinho's first signing will be Scott McTominay?
No.
Oh, getting back at United. I saw he wants to go back there. Sorted. that'll take him a few years back as well.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw like this United Mourinho link, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, allegedly it's all from Mourinho's camp, and like that's not come from Ineos or United, like, which just shows the level of desperation. It's like, please have me back.
Yes,
we're
Martin
not interested.
Fellaini out of retirement, 100%. Yes, Fellaini out of retirement. Listen, people, this has been absolutely a brilliant show. Get us to 300 likes, guys. There's over 360 of you here, so we can like the video. Like the video underneath your live chat. I hope you enjoyed that. It was absolutely brilliant. Tom and Nobbins, let the people know where to find you guys, please.
Tom, after you.
No, go first, mate.
Okay, so I have a YouTube channel. It's called Nobbins. I release tactical videos, mainly on Man City. We also do live streams. Tonight we'll be doing a watch along for City versus Brentford, for example, and then there'll be a subsequent analysis video of that, tactically assessing the game. If that sounds something like you'd be interested in, then check out the channel, Nobbins.
Is that tactically assessing how Ivan Toney always seems to get the better of one of your centre backs?
If that's what happens tonight, it's going to have
it won't
to be,
happen tonight. But if it was last year, it would always be how does Ivan Toney cause our defense?
It would be how Toney made Akanji look like a 5th choice centre half. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to happen tonight though.
No, because you're all right now, and they're like what 17th? They're like relegation standard.
Yeah, they're not doing great, to be fair.
Mind you, though, if they've not done well, but they're normally a decent side, maybe they're saving their performances for some big sides to turn up.
Exactly.
Oh fuck, we've got them soon. Oh
no.
But you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, anything. Tom Little with a 1.
It's in the description, people. It's simple. It's in the description, and also you can find Tom on Hossam's channel, one of the best shows on YouTube. Hossam X Tom is a great show, guys. Both channels are in the description. Please go subscribe to their channel, get them up, and then like the last video or last 10. Thank you everybody that watched. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Nobbins. Really appreciate that one. And guys, we're out of here. Turn on the notification bell, and thank you for everybody that supported the channel. Thank you for the super chatters. Thanks to the people that like the video, that share the video. Really appreciate you guys supporting me here on the channel. And we'll see you guys later. Stay here. Don't go anywhere, because this will take you to Hossam, where he does the match recap. We're out of here, people.